Welcome everybody, my name is Connor and welcome to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto markets. Welcome to a special edition live stream. Today is Father's Day. So if you are a father out there and you're watching this right now, wherever you are in the world, Crypto Empire is a global network, a global brand. So wherever you're watching in the world, happy Father's Day. Thank you for doing what you do. I know that my father is watching this live right now, or he'll be watching the replay. So Dad, thank you. I appreciate all that you do. So today we're going to be covering what's going on in the markets, because it seems like everybody's emotions are all over the place. We go up, everybody turns bullish. We go down, everybody turns bearish. So I'm going to be giving my opinion, what I am thinking, exactly what's running through my mind at this point in time in terms of the overall market conditions. And then we're going to be taking a look at some news and also hopping into the charts. And then more importantly, I'm going to be getting into the psychology that you need if you just entered cryptocurrency, because most likely if you just entered, you bought the top. Like coins peaked out and now they're down 50, 80, 90%. And that doesn't feel good. And, you know, if you get down on yourself and you have that guilt and regret feeling, that puts you in a position of weakness. And here at Crypto Empire, we're all about playing from positions of strength, of course. So I'll be discussing the psychology that is needed to bounce back, and then I'll give you some actual strategies that you can implement on your own to recoup those losses. And it's nothing crazy, nothing fancy, no hocus pocus stuff. It's like an actual concrete strategy to use. Of course, nothing I say here is financial advice. You need to do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. This content is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right, so we got some people in the chat. We got Omer giving the thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up to you, my man. Thank you for being here. We got Dre. What's good, Connor? Welcome, Empire. Let's get some hype in the chat, everybody. It's Father's Day. Yeah, the market's choppy, but guess what? We have reasons to be optimistic, and I'll be explaining why. So let's start off. Let's hop into the computer. So we got 16 viewers and 4 likes. I know the live just started. I haven't given too much content yet, but hey, if you could smash that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's start off the live stream with some humor to lighten the mood. So let's hop on over to Twitter. Where did that tweet go that I had open? Oh yeah, it's right here. We got a tweet by Mr. Business. Mr. Business, always providing the humor on crypto Twitter. So pretty much he tweeted, what I wanted to share with you is, no way this bull run is over. We can't possibly have 2 bull runs where Cardano doesn't have smart contracts. So that's pretty funny if you ask me. Cardano is still yet to launch its Alonzo hard fork in the Goguen smart contract era. We're still waiting on that. We can read here that, where is it? Right here, end of July, we should be seeing smart contracts for Cardano. So it's been a long time coming for Cardano ADA. I am an ADA hodler, but it's funny how smart contracts aren't live yet. Like literally all you can do on Cardano right now is you can stake, you can have your wallet, and you can hold your ADA. So we're heavily anticipating this event. So with that being said, I want to know from you, are you bullish on Cardano? I'm bullish. I'll explain why I'm bullish. Because Cardano has literally one of the strongest... Wait, did I switch the scene? Yeah, I did switch the scene. Cardano has one of the strongest communities in crypto. Like, Mr. Business gets attacked all the time because he's constantly ragging on the Cardano community. He's a big Polkadot Kusama bull, as am I. But, yeah, we need smart contracts, guys. We need to be able to actually utilize the blockchain for what it is meant to do. It's coming. Charles is keeping us in suspense, right? Once Goguen does fully go live, it's going to be really interesting to see if Cardano is all it is cracked up to be. If it is the premium, the Bentley, the Apple, the Rolex, the premium brand in smart contracts. Because this is what this is right now. It's a free market. It's an open market. You have Ethereum, who has the competitive first mover advantage for smart contracts. They launched the Ethereum virtual machine, and pretty much all of DeFi is done on Ethereum, and then Binance Smart Chain for a while there was handling a very large percentage of the market share for DeFi and smart contracts. So it's a competitive environment, and competition drives innovation. And with this being said, the bullish narratives, like the fundamentals have not changed for cryptocurrency, right? Yeah, the technicals, like if we look on the weekly for the total crypto market cap, We peaked out at $2.5 trillion up here. Right now we're at $1.43 trillion. $1 trillion has evaporated in approximately 5 weeks' time. In about a month's time, $1 trillion, poof, gone. It's a lot of money, $1 trillion. So, will we recover? We're going to be discussing. So let's start out by taking a look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is, of course, the market leader. Bitcoin rules them all. So taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart, everybody is, screaming chicken little, the sky is falling, Bitcoin's dropping, we're going to break 30K, we're headed lower. To me, we're in the trading range. I've been talking about this really for the past 5 weeks since we've been chopping around here. Until we go above 42K or below 29, 28K, then I'm neutral. We're chopping around in a range. If you're new to the markets, investing, trading especially, because trading is all technicals for the most part. However, with that being said, the most successful trades that I've had personally is when I line up the fundamental narrative with the technicals. That's when I start going crazy and screaming and this is going to pump, because the fundamental narrative is there and then the chart also is saying, look at this. So take that one with you. If you have a notepad, write that down. When you align the fundamentals and the technicals together, that is when you will have the most success as a trader. But yeah, with this being said, guys, there's no reason to panic right now. We're in the trading range from I'll remark it. I'll go over this again. So back here in January and February, we were in the same exact trading range. I have it marked here with this yellow line as the top. And as you can see here, we punctured this yellow line with candle wicks approximately 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over here. So this tells me that this is an area of supply on the chart. Up here at 41K, a lot of people are sellers, right? Supply and we're going to get also into the supply and demand basics, because I realize a lot of my subscribers are new. And as a supply and demand trader, I feel like it's my duty to educate you on the principles of supply and demand, because you need to have that solid foundation set. It was said by very wise people that if you build a foundation on sand, then that house is going to collapse. But if you build that foundation on a rock solid, stone bed rocks, then that house is going to be sturdy and it's going to stand the test of time. So we'll be building that foundation for supply and demand later on in this live stream, so make sure that you stick with me until the very end. But yeah, guys, up here at 41K, people are sellers. This is a supply zone, right? Down here at 29K, people are buyers. This is a demand zone. So this tells me that over here, this is just a big overall range from 41 to 29K. And if we look to the right, present times, present day, we're in this range. These areas of supply and demand were created back in January and February, and they're still being respected today. So there's no reason to panic. The herd mentality is to turn bullish when we approach the top of the range. Yeah, we're finally going back up. We're going back to 60K, yeah. But if you look at the chart, we're at the yellow line. People are sellers here. People are selling their Bitcoin at 41K. So don't be like a yo-yo and your emotions can't be going up, down, up, down. No, you need to have a basic understanding of that we're in a trading range. And the markets, if we look at from a historical perspective, the majority of time in the markets is spent in a trading range. The times when it's very bullish and very bearish dwarf the times that we're in a range. So I'm just trying to kind of drill this point home that when we're in the range, I'm neutral. I'm not going to turn crazy bullish, even though macro perspective, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, especially in crypto, they have not changed at all for me. Macro perspective, I am completely raging bull. But at this point in time, the technicals are telling me that we are in this range. We're literally at the midpoint of the range. Bitcoin currently at $34,800. So there's no reason to panic right now. I know a lot of people in chat, and I see it on other social media platforms. People are freaking out. They just want to get out. They want to forget that they even bought Bitcoin and crypto in the first place. And it's unfortunate to see, you got in, you bought the top up here. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But sometimes it doesn't work out in life. But you can't be looking at that rear view mirror. You got to be looking ahead. So this is my Bitcoin analysis. And now I also want to point you to the overall crypto market cap. I'm going to look on the weekly price chart. I want to show you over here. Take a quick look at the volume on the weekly. So the volume is this indicator down here. These are the red and green bars. And pretty much the volume is an indicator. It's very basic. It tells us how many people are buying and how many people are selling, like the volume of the buy orders and the volume of the sell orders. So if we look here, let me grab my tool. If we look at these 2 weeks, that's not the greatest tool. Let me make that more clear for you. I'll just circle it. So if we look at these 2 huge red candles, we can see down here with the volume, I'm looking right here, these 2 big red volume candles, we can see that these volume candles are engulfing candles. What is engulfing candle? What does that mean? It means that they engulf the previous candle bodies. If I draw a yellow ray at the top of the previous volume bars, we can see that this one red volume candle fully engulfs the previous volume candles. This tells me that this is a very strong move down because the amount of sellers support the price action. So I take note of that. I note that, okay, like this is a real breakdown. It's not a fake out. People are actually selling here. Now, if we look to where we are right now in terms of the volume candles, look how small these volume candles are. Down here I'm looking. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to see that. Let's check the chat. Let me know in chat if you guys can see this. But yeah, guys, essentially, if we look at these volume candles, not a lot of people are selling right now. These volume candles are weak. Okay, this, in my opinion, this is not financial advice, I'll repeat that, but in my humble opinion, this is to shake you out. This is to make you panic and get scared and sell your bag, sell your crypto. They want you to sell because they realize that people were, I mean, this is kind of getting, I shouldn't say they realized, but a lot of people were buying at the top expecting that it was going to go higher and they're going to be able to retire from your job and all this good stuff and you're going to be able to go on vacation whenever you want. Life isn't that easy, folks. You got to work hard for what you do deserve. You can't just buy something and expect it to make you rich. You got to suffer through the pain. I've been in Bitcoin, I've been in crypto for over 4 years now. All right, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been times where we go sideways right now, but I've been through it all. And there's no such thing as free lunch in the markets. And you need to understand that, right? It's not that easy, right? You have to go through the bad times to deserve those good times. So if you bought the top, I hate to see you lose money, but you need to have the mindset that you will be successful in the end. And if you carry that mindset with you trading, investing, and also through life, you will be successful. So don't get too discouraged. This is weak volume right now. The sellers aren't actually stepping in. If we see engulfing red volume candle, then yeah, that tells us that people are really selling, they're exiting, and then I'll ring the alarm bells and I'll let you know, hey, like this could break down bad. But as long as we stay in this overall trading range, guys, there's really no need to panic. All right, just listen to the chart. So yeah, that's my overall market analysis. Let's check out what's happening in the chat. Chat's blowing up, guys. Thank you all for being here. Happy Father's Day. If you're watching this right now and you haven't liked the video yet, hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see what's going on. We got Beg saying it will continue till October. Hey, I think it's going to keep on going sideways for a bit, a few weeks to maybe a month or so. We got Neolana. Neolana, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing? Bears taking over everything. Stay in the jungle. Yeah, bears are trying to take over, but like we just discussed, the volume candle that the bears are producing right now are pretty weak. So unless they step up their selling volume, then they'll take over. But yeah, we got to stay in the jungle for sure. Stay in the battle. Stay in the fight. We're not going anywhere. Dre saying he loves Cardano. Yes, sir. Shout out to all the pirates out there watching this stream. Pirate coin, baby. Yes. Still a holder, never selling mine, only adding to that position 100%. We got Dre saying Cardano is the peanut butter to his jelly. I like that metaphor, Dre. Can you talk on Elrond? Yeah, we'll cover Elrond in a little bit. Every indicator plus news says it's going to dump. If it dumps, okay, I buy more. That's fine. Can we see some short squeeze? Soon privacy coins will rule them all. You are right, till 28 we are fine. I can smell the rock cooking. Shall I buy now? I missed the dip. We'll discover that. We'll discuss that in a little bit. Still time to buy right now. Please tell me ASAP. Yes, real talk. True. Yes. Okay, is it time to buy now? Well, that depends on your strategy. Okay? Listen, I'm not a financial advisor, but if your strategy is to dollar cost average into Bitcoins and strong altcoins that you do believe in, well then yeah, you should continue on with your strategy of dollar cost averaging into the position. Maybe you do a weekly dollar cost average where you put $100 into Bitcoin per week. If that's your strategy, well then you should stick to that strategy, stick to the plan at hand, and just every single week, like a machine, you don't even think about it, you should have an auto-recurring dollar cost average. You can do that on all the main fiat on-ramp platforms, Coinbase, Cash App, whatever you do use. But yeah, if your strategy is a dollar cost average, well then definitely dollar cost average. It's a very kind of personal question. Should you buy now? I have no idea what your situation is. I don't know if you have a wife and kids that you need to take care of, and you got bills to pay, and if you spend that last $1,000 on crypto, then you're not going to be able to pay the car insurance. Like, if that's the case, then no, you shouldn't buy. Right? Never invest money that you can afford to lose. But if you have an extra $1,000 sitting around that you don't need, like to run your life, to live your life, and you want to invest it, well then yeah, you should buy, right? Like, if you believe in this, if you believe in cryptocurrency, like, I believe that Bitcoin's going to be over 150K by the end of the year. So if that's the case for you as well, then yeah, it's not a bad time to dollar cost average into a position. I don't know you. I don't know if you have dependents. I don't know your situation. So you really need to come to that own conclusion, my man. If this answer helped you, well then good. But if you want to clarify in chat so I can give you a better answer, please do that. But yeah, guys. So now I want to go over how to go about handling those large losses. Let me switch to full screen really quick. Let's get nice, close, and personal. So you bought the top. You entered the market in April or May, and you bought Bitcoin when it was 60K, and you bought ETH when it was 4K because you thought it was going straight to 10K because some dude on Twitter said so. It's unfortunate, right? Everybody was a raging bull during those months. But now you're down 50% of your portfolio. What do you do now? I'm going to answer that question. Let's hop into the charts. So let's give an arbitrary example. Let's take a look at actually the market cap really quick. What's going on? All right, we'll look at the market cap in a second. Let's give an arbitrary example of, let's look at Uniswap, right? Uniswap's a very popular coin. It's on Coinbase. Everybody knows Uniswap, the main DEX. So let's give it an arbitrary example. Let me just clean this chart up. That you were a buyer of Uniswap up here. Let me just clean this up. Let's say you bought Uniswap up here at $40. Okay, you were a buyer right here. You bought $1,000 of Uniswap at $40. Okay, now we're sitting at $19, $20. So your $1,000 has turned to $500. You're freaking out. Your wife's pissed at you. You want to sell, you want to exit, you want to forget that you ever made that purchase in that first place. What do? Listen, this is not financial advice, but what I would do if I was in that situation is, if you do have extra funds to invest, I would utilize them, right? So we can see over here that Uniswap has already dropped to, as low as $15. So the point I'm trying to make right now is you want to lower your average cost. So if you bought at $40, that means your average cost is $40. However, if you then go ahead and you manage, if we go back down here to $15 and you put another $1,000 in, well, that means you lower your average cost to, like, my math isn't perfect, but like $17.50, right? You lower your average cost like in half, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me on that math, but you do significantly lower your average cost. And then, so you put another $1,000 in over here at $15, again, an arbitrary example, and then we have a recovery bounce. And let's say maybe we don't go all the way back up to $40 this year, right? Worst case scenario, we head back up and we hit, $30, right? So that means that you put your first 1,000 in at 40, it drops to 500 when right now we're at 20. We drop down to 15, you put another 1,000 in. So now you have a total of around It's not going to be 1,500 obviously, because that first investment will now be lower than 500. But you have about like 1,300 bucks in the market, and then we see a rally back up to 30 bucks for Uniswap. That means now that your $1,000 has doubled to $2,000, and you still have that initial $1,000 purchase that you made at that high price. But now at $30 you sell, and you sell in a profit, right? Because yeah, there's a slim chance that we go back up to 40, but 30, right? We can see if we look at $30, just looking at the chart over here, like there's a lot of buyers and sellers at 30 bucks. You see how these candle bodies are opening and closing here, support and resistance flip. These candle wicks over here, this tells me that $30 is a pretty key level. It's also a psychological round number. So there's a decent chance that we might not hit 40, but at least we'll hit 30. So this way you're able to exit in a slight profit instead of taking that $500 loss. This is just how I think about it. You always want to be on the offense instead of playing defense. That's another rule of life that I do like. It's constantly in action, moving, going forward, making things happen. Bam, bam, bam. You're not sitting idle, sitting still like a deer in the headlights. No, you're moving, right? So this is what I would do. Not financial advice, but if I bought something at the top, I would try to get it at a discount, lower my average cost, and then if we have some kind of relief bounce rally, I would exit on the double, take those profits, and then I'm still in overall profit. So it's not all doom and gloom, right? You can't just buy something and then just, unless it's an investment. Because if it's an investment, then you should have at least a 5-year outlook on that purchase, right? So you guys know I'm a real estate agent. In real estate investing, by the way, I'm very big on real estate investing, but in real estate investing, they say that the money is made on the buy. If you overpay for a property and you flip it and you make it beautiful, but if you overpaid for it, you're not going to be able to sell it on a profit. The numbers need to make sense as an investor. And in crypto, the numbers make sense even if Bitcoin's 65K, because I still think it's going to at least double in the next year. So if you have that 5-year outlook, this scenario doesn't really play out. But, if you were trading, if you expected to, make quick profits and, use trading as another source of income, well, then this is a scenario that you can use to lower your average cost and sell at a profit. So let me know your thoughts about that in chat. I want to hear what you guys have to think. See what's happening in chat. Stay strong, Empire. We got Dog McCoin. Shout out to you, Dog, for coming in here. Thank you for being here in the Sunday special edition live stream. We got Marcelo saying, missed to buy the bottom resistance. Is it still time to buy today? Approaching 35K now. So, look, we're in the middle of the range. Nobody can time the bottoms, but hey, you missed over here at 33K. Good chance we go back up here and test the top of the range again. So if you're looking for a quick scalp, then, set your stop loss in the correct place. Move your stop loss up once you're in profit so you mitigate the risk on the trade. And, if we head back up to the top of the range, then you can take that quick scalp profit. So depends on your strategy as a trader. Buying RSR 2. Exactly, Aiden. Great point. RSR is another arbitrary example that we can use. I made a video on RSR. It's actually my best performing YouTube video. If you saw that YouTube video, I appreciate you watching. But essentially, I made a video on RSR when it was over here, 8-9 cents. And I called this pump to the all-time high, but then it just died down. Unfortunate, right? It would have been great if we started heading higher to, 15, 20 cents. But it just broke down. So now we're back here at 2.7 cents. We were at 10 cents. We might not head back up to 10 cents next week, but we could maybe see a rally up here to 6, 7 cents. And that's a 2-3x from current price. So, if you bought $1,000 of RSR at 10 cents, and then you buy another 1,000 here at 2 cents, and we pump back up to 6, you're going to be able to sell everything for an overall profit. You win. So, always have that optimistic glass half full outlook, and you'll be successful, guys. No need to get down on yourself. I know it's not fun losing money. I've experienced it all. It's not fun to lose money, but you need to have a strategy in place to get the gains back. Strategy is to ride until 41K, dude. Yeah, that's the top of the range, brother. I agree. A death cross doesn't mean anything when you look at the fundamentals and whale movements. So yeah, good point about the death cross. So the death cross is a lagging indicator. Moving averages are telling us what's happened in the past. And we'll look at the moving averages and not the EMAs. So if we look at the moving averages, we can see that we now have a death cross. The 55 has crossed beneath the 200. So that is the death cross. This is bearish. If we look in the past, okay, my EMAs don't go that far back. Regardless, if you look in the past, every time Bitcoin has entered a death cross, we always usually have like a bounce back up of at least like 50 to 100%. So, I mean, it's a lagging indicator. I'm macro bullish. We'll see what happens. We're in this trading range for me. If we break down beneath, 29K, then yeah, the death cross is the death cross. But if we stay in the range, then we're in the range. So no need to panic. Can you please take a look at Luna? Real talk, Connor, give it to us straight always. I'll always give it to you straight. Don't you worry about that. You don't have to repeat 3 times. Yeah, thank you, McLaren. I appreciate that. Hello, Chico Crypto. How do you see KSM? Hey, I'm Crypto Empire, bro. No Chico Crypto over here. Okay, let's take a look at Luna, and then we'll continue on with the overall schedule of programming. So I did just make a video about Luna, and I did draw the symmetrical triangle in the video. So Luna, well, guys, to me, this is like, it's the same exact scenario as Bitcoin, really. Like, this trading range over here, supply and demand, chopping around for like weeks. We pump up to new all-time highs. Now we're back in the same range that we were in before, this area of demand. So if we break down beneath $4, like I discussed in the video that I made a few days ago, then we're probably headed to $3, $2. And if we really enter into a bear market, which I don't think we will, then we go to $1. You buy more, not financial advice. But yeah, guys, it looks like we might be breaking down from the structure. We are finding support at the trend line here. So, I mean, we can draw a horizontal line and take a look at where this line is. And this is a key level of support. I know this because you see where all these candles wick down, the candle bodies close. This tells me that people are buyers here at $5.38. We're now at $5.76, so no need to panic for Luna. We're in the trading range, right? If you want to play the breakout, well then let's wait for a confirmed breakout. If we go down, then we want to sell short on the confirmation to ride the move down. If we break upwards, well then we want to enter on the confirmation to ride the move up. So right now we're neutral, we're in the range, so no need to panic. That's what's happening with Luna. Okay, and now I also get this question a lot. A question I get is, should I sell my Bitcoin now to buy back lower? My simple answer to this question is no, you shouldn't. For the exact reason, for the exact scenario that I did just give, and that's to always be looking to lower your average cost. Like, look at Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is about to buy another $1 billion of Bitcoin, $500 million. He's buying millions of dollars every single week. So he's a billionaire. He knows what he's doing. He's not trying to time the market and sell now and buy back lower so he can have like 5% more coins. If you want to take that risk, it can work out for you, absolutely. But do I condone that? No, I would just say to lower your average cost and get a better entry price for an additional purchase, not financial advice. Okay, so with this being said, let's take a look at the overall market cap as a whole. See what's going on. So take a look at the gainers. So I did actually notice this morning. Uniswap, like, people are selling their Bitcoin and ETH into sushi right now. Very interesting to see. Everything is bouncing. Or not everything, I should say, but we got a lot of things bouncing. The strong alts. We got Sushi, XDC, which is like kind of a banker coin. We got Thorchain. We got YFI. We got SHIB. Shout out to the SHIB army. Do I hold SHIB? No, but if I want to trade it and make a quick buck, well then that's fine, right? As a trader, you trade volatility, so you care less about the asset or the price. You care about the technicals on the price chart. So, I know I say all the time I'm not a fan of the meme coins, and as a fundamental investment, I'm not a fan at all. But as a trader, they're very volatile, so you can be very profitable on that. So in that sense, I am all for it. But as a bag holder, no, you won't catch me holding a bag of SHIB. Take a look at the losers. T-Fuel. T-Fuel is either a top gainer or a top loser every single day now. Guys, Theta will be the leader in video streaming and entertainment. I am on theta.tv, so go ahead and follow Crypto Empire on theta.tv if you have not already. Greatly appreciate if you do that. And also, with that being said, I am on Instagram. Go ahead and follow Crypto Empire Co. on Instagram. I do repost some content, and then I will be providing specific content for Instagram. So definitely go ahead and follow Crypto Empire Co. right now if you have not already. Okay, moving on. I want to get into the basics of supply and demand for you because I get these questions a lot. I do have some videos on the channel explaining supply and demand, but I just want to kind of go over it again with you all because that's the foundation of my style of trading, is supply and demand. I'm a buyer at certain levels and I'm a seller at certain levels. Very simple, but let's go over it really quick. Let's use Binance Coin as an example. Just pick this randomly out of the blue. Okay. So very interesting. First thing that comes up is this demand zone that I have on the chart from back here in April. This is back here on April 8th. We have, so supply and demand. For a demand zone, we have two market structures that I look for. We have a rally, meaning a big green candle, a base, meaning candles where the candle wick makes up more, 50%, over 50% of the whole entire candle than the body. So basing candles look like this doji candle right here, where the candle body is very small and the wicks make up more than 50%. I categorize these as basing candles. So we have a rally, base, and then a drop, and then a rally out. So I would categorize this as a rally, base, rally zone. This is a continuation pattern. The reversal pattern is a drop, base, rally zone, and we can see we have one of those right here. Right, we have a big drop, base, bullish engulfing candle. This is this green candle that I'm looking at right here. We have a bullish engulfing candle out. So this tells me that there's leftover buy orders in this area, and when price comes back down to this zone, then we will most likely see a reaction from it. Okay, but in this scenario, I do already have this demand zone drawn on the charts. Now, if we look to current price, we can see that this kind of flipped, or actually, we can see that on the 4-hour, price did actually react from this demand zone. You see how price just briefly dropped in to the zone. It also has confluence with this trend line I have on the chart, but you see how price reacted out of this level. The sellers were obviously stronger here. We can look at the sell volume. It's significantly stronger than the buy volume in the past here. So, but we did have a strong bounce out, but then we obviously broke down further, and then on the way back up, we see this a lot with support and resistance. We also see with supply and demand. We see the flip. So a demand zone flips to become a supply zone, and that's exactly what we have here with these candle wicks. The zone flipped, and then again over here when we came back into the area, we broke down. So this tells me that for Binance Coin over here at $420, 420 blaze it, we can see that people are sellers of BNB. Okay, so people are sellers up here at 420. People are buyers down here. This is a demand zone. We have a drop, base, bullish engulfing rally candle out. Drop, base, rally. So we go ahead and mark that on the chart. How I mark my zones is I take the proximal line at where the candle bodies close. And then I take my distal line, which is the bottom of the lowest wick. So proximal goes at the highest candle body close. The distal goes at the lowest candle body wick. Write that down if you guys have a pen and paper handy, or if you didn't already know that. And then we go ahead and mark that green for a demand zone. I didn't mean to mark the outline. 1 second. Right here is what I'm looking for. Demand zone. So we'll make that green. So now we can see, if we look to the right, that what happened here at this demand zone, price came and wicked right off of it. Okay, supply and demand. People are buyers over here at $310. Don't overcomplicate it. You're marking points on the chart where people are buyers and people are sellers. That's all we do as supply and demand traders. And then how do we trade it? We buy in demand zones and we sell at supply zones. Very simple. So now looking over here on the chart, on the 4 hour, we do have right here, we have a drop, base, drop. So this is the continuation pattern for supply zone, right? See this steep drop out. This means that most likely there are some leftover sell orders. So will we get rejected here? I'm expecting some kind of bounce in this supply zone here. Go ahead and mark this supply. So now we're in the supply zone, so I'm expecting some kind of bounce, right? So everybody, there's no wrong way to draw your supply or demand zones. You can take the proximal line and you can put it at the candle wick as well. You can go wick to wick. I like body to wick personally. Personal preference. Been doing this for a while. You'll find your preference when you really get into it, and you put in the time and you find out what works for you. But for the most part, I do like candle body to candle wick to draw my proximal and distal lines for supply and demand. And I know if you're new, this is probably confusing. You don't know what a proximal or distal line is. Basically, if we're looking at a demand zone, a proximal line is the top of the zone. The distal line is like, think of it as a distance. It's further away. So that's the distal line. Hope that makes sense. So with this being said, I think that some people are sellers over here at $333. So what's going to happen? We might see price react and take a bit of a down dip before we start heading higher. So that would be a shorter term scalp. I'm a swing trader. I don't like to really day trade for the most part. So yeah, that's a little bit about how supply and demand does work. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Let's see. VRA, get it now while it's cheap. Yeah, VRA, guys, it's like on complete fire sale. More pirate chain. You can never have enough pirate chain, right? Monero, yeah, Monero has first mover advantage. Monero is the king privacy coin. If you're into privacy, you should have Monero, but Pirate Coin has the ZK Snarks technology. They did just move over to using the Litecoin blockchain to make their transactions more efficient, make everything overall more efficient. But it needs some work. But I believe in the project, right? You can join their Discord. You can see all their weekly meetups. You can see what's going on. Bullish on Pirate Chain. How do you see KSM? Yeah, so I actually do want to bring up KSM. I was trying to load the scoreboard for the parachain auctions, but my JS wallet extension isn't loading right now. It's been doing that circle for like hours. But if we look at KSM, guys, it completely broke down. Like, everybody sold. So we did react from this level down here. Right, what do we have? We have a drop-based rally demand zone. No surprise at all to see a reversal in a strong level of demand. Also, this happened at $270. So more times than not, you'll see that those psychologically round numbers do have a big impact on what price does in that level. Like $300, $350, $325. Like those psychologically round numbers, it's always been like that. Like equity traders, commodities traders, especially like, for crude oil, $1, $1.25, $1.50. Like these are key levels on the chart, and this is no different. So, $270 right now, we're at $300. But yeah, this completely broke down. So over here we can see we had an important support resistance flip with this yellow line. I did just cover supply and demand. Right now, this is a perfect example to briefly cover support and resistance. I know I have a lot of new traders subscribing to the channel every day, so I'll briefly cover it for you. Basically, with support and resistance, we just look to identify key levels on the chart and mark them, because price respects key levels. Price action trading, very simple. Mark the levels where price respects. So the reason I know that this yellow line is a key level is very simple. We have, see how all these candles closed right here at this yellow line, right? Then we drop down, and then we go ahead and we retest the yellow line. We pierce it, but we don't have a candle body close above it. Then we come back and we test it again. We keep on testing this yellow line, but we can't break through it. This is resistance. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark that with a yellow line. And then when we finally have a candle body close above the yellow line, we break the resistance and we flip it to support. And that's exactly what happened here. We broke through, we closed above on the 4 hour, and then we tested the support line multiple times, and then we just rocketed it out of there, right? And this also formed a rally base, rally demand zone. Okay, so more oftentimes than not, supply and demand is not the same thing as support and resistance, but very often you will see them have confluence with one another, which is why you should know how to do both. When I did learn how to trade, I only learned supply and demand, and then I started putting two and two together and realized that they're very similar, but they're not the same. Okay, and then we can look also. We shot out of the support, I should say, and then we came down and we retested it, but we never had a candle body close beneath the yellow line. This tells us that it's strong support. Okay, but then over here we retested again, and then we just broke down, sliced through it like a hot knife through butter, and we came right to the demand zone. So that's a little one-on-one on how to identify important levels on the chart with support and resistance. Just look for levels where price can't seem to break, both on the upside and the downside. And that's how you identify support and resistance. So, I mean, I'll put another few on the chart, like up here, where this yellow line is. We have all these candle bodies closing right on this yellow line, but they're not closing beneath it. Obviously, we did end up breaking this resistance, and then we tested the lower one. We break back up, and then we start to use this resistance again. So, as traders, we use support and resistance to identify key levels, and then we obviously use that for entries and exits, right? That's where we enter, and then we get, if we enter in support, we're going to enter at resistance. Or if we're trading supply and demand, we enter in demand, and we're sellers at supply. We take profit at supply. So I hope that does make sense. If that helped you out, smash that like button. I hope it did help you out. But yeah, the more that you study and the more that you chart on your own, the easier it's going to get to identify these key levels on the chart and help you out as a trader. And then, of course, we can get into trend lines, and trend lines are like horizontal and diagonal, vertical, support and resistance zones. Very powerful trend lines, guys. So you need to add all these tools to your trading arsenal if you're just getting into trading now. Definitely. It's very important. And also, with that being said, we'll go deeper into trading. As a trader, it depends on your style, but you really should only have like one edge in the market. And what I mean by an edge is your system. So for me, that's supply and demand and the fib, right? When demand zone lines up with a key fib level, that's my edge. I know that, probability speaking, if I take that trade every single time, over the course of time, I will be profitable, as long as, of course, the trend lines up. And you have to always, like, there's steps to trading. You need to identify the trend. If we're in an uptrend, that means you go long. And then I identify a demand zone. I see if that coincides with a fib level, and I'll use that for my entry. So yeah, you need to get your edge down if you are new as well. You can't just be trading a trend line and then a breakout and then support, resistance, and supply and demand. You're all over the place, and you want to be the house. You want to play like the house. You need to have the edge. You need to have the probabilities in your favor to be successful. Okay, let's see what's going on. We got VRA. Get that average down if you bought high. Rigoberto Chavez Jr., I agree with you, brother. I 1000% agree with you on VRA. Guys, VRA is like the future of gaming. VRA is going to be so big. Not financial advice. But we'll take a look on the daily for VRA. And I've had this channel drawn on the chart since it formed. And we broke down from the channel. If we look, this is clearly key support. I'll actually make that a bigger line. Okay, I mean, it's It's a demand zone is what it is. So we have a rally base, rally demand zone. This is a basing candle. This body is less than 50% of the overall candle. And in this scenario, I'll draw my zone wick to wick. And as we can see here, every time price comes into this demand zone, it bounces out. So people are buyers of VRA at 1.2 cents all the way down to 0.9 cents. People are buyers here. So I take note of that. Say, okay, people are stepping in. And also we can see with the volume, you see how low this volume is? That tells me that there's not a lot of buying and selling happening right now. Low volume. Okay, so I don't really expect much with this low volume. And we just keep on kind of chopping around sideways. But like my guy, what was his name? He had an interesting name. Rigoberto Chavez Jr., like my boy Rigoberto says, if you bought up here with VRA, it's not financial advice, but if you bought up here at 5 cents, well then you want to bring that average cost down and you want to get it at 1 cent. And then if we go back up to 3 cents, you can sell for a 3x profit. You recoup all of those losses, and then you also end up in a slight profit. But with VRA, guys, this is like one of my blue chips, one of my like picks that I think will do really, really well. Not financial advice. So yeah, I agree with Rigoberto Chavez Jr. for sure. The bull run has ended. It's confirmed. But do you think we will have another one in 2024, 2025, in the next BTC halving? So, Mr. Arbiter, I disagree, man. I really don't think that this is the end of the bull run. Will we enter into a bearish trend for a month, 2 months, 3 months? Yeah, right? But unless we do break, like I'll agree with you if we do break 29K on Bitcoin. If we break beneath this yellow dotted line, then I'll say, okay, yeah, this is bearish. This is a bear market completely. But we're in this trading range, so I can't say that, yes, the bull run is confirmed ended, right? The technicals don't tell me that yet, right? And also, I discussed the volume. Not a lot of people are selling. Look how low these volume bars are, guys. There's not a lot of sellers. So, yeah, I don't agree with that it's over, but will we have another one in 2024, 2025? Well, based off of history and the previous Bitcoin halving cycles, then the halving in 2024, I think it's 2024, will lead to another bull run. So yes, I do believe it will. Mr. Arbiter. Dre saying he loves the supply and demand refresher. Can you please explain the depth chart? Hitcham, what do you mean by the depth chart? Do you mean the volume? Do you mean like the order book on exchanges? Just clarify that question for me, please. Guys, if you're watching right now, we got 25 viewers. If you have any questions right now, definitely now is the time to ask those questions, okay? Let's see if we can get the Kusama wallet to load, because I want to see what's happening with the parachain auctions. I want to see what's going on with that. But this is not loading. Yeah, that's a shame. All right. So we'll take a look at ETH. ETH did tap 2K today. Yeah, $2,036. If we go to a 4 hour. Okay, this is like, I have too many trend lines. Let me zoom out 1 second. Let me clean this up. So, trend lines. As we can see here, I have this trend line from back here in November, and it's been respected multiple times. So over here we have 3 touches. Over here we have like 6 touches. And then over here we have, we just closed, since November, we just closed beneath this trend line 2-3 days ago. Right, we never had a confirmed close beneath this trend line except for 2-3 days ago. So that's bearish, guys. This is like a weekly trend line. General rule of thumb: the higher time frame you are, the more significant a trend line break is, or a breakdown from a key supply or demand zone. The higher the time frame, the more significant it is. So now on the weekly, we can see that we're going to have the weekly candle close in about 5 hours. So if we break this weekly trend line, yeah, that's pretty bearish. And then also, I want to show you guys, I was looking at the Dow, the YM futures contracts. That is the Dow. We can see that the Dow is breaking a weekly trend line. The Dow is the stock market, the overall stock market, right? Dow 30 Industrial Average. This trend line was back in March of 2020, the big, massive worldwide sell-off. We were uptrending since then in the stock market. We have a weekly trend line break on the Dow. Okay, this could be the start of massive sell-off in the equities markets. I'm watching this closely because a weekly trend line break from over 1 year, you need to have your eyes on this. And of course, the Bitcoin hasn't fully decoupled from equities at this point in time. So, man, this is interesting. A lot of uncertainty in the air. But with that being said, Bitcoin will fully decouple from the equities traditional markets in the future, in the near future, I do believe. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Bitcoin does follow suit and break that 29K level. It's going to be really interesting. But guys, I do have my eyes on the equities markets because we have a significant weekly trend line break here. So keep your eyes on this for sure. We could be facing a huge stonk market crash, I should say. Okay. Let's see what's going on in chat, guys. Ask your questions now. Look at DOT. Absolutely, we'll take a look at DOT. What do you think of TEL? Thanks for the live stream. Bullish. Very bullish on TEL coin. We got Sky Dimmick saying, what's good, bro? What's good, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. Let's take a look at TEL coin, though. My guy Rigoberto is asking for TEL coin. Okay. A little alpha. There's a little trade for you. Never worked out. Never hit that entry for the breakout, but take that off the chart. Okay. So, TEL coin. Let's look at the daily. So we were in a falling wedge pattern, and then we did end up breaking to the upside, but this is just a sideways market, really. I mean, for a month we've been going sideways for TEL coin. Guys, TEL coin is going to be very big. They've been around, since the last bull market in 2017. They're only on KuCoin, right? They're not listed on major exchanges yet. They're working with regulators, with governments. Their team doesn't stop working. This is already a grand slam, like this investment, right? If you already got in this down here at less than a cent, then you're up 4 or 5x already. So it's already been a grand slam this cycle, and I do see it continuing to be an absolute out of the park home run, guys. TEL coin's a beast. But right now we're just chopping around, going sideways, and then over here where this red line is, 2.5 cents, pretty significant level on the chart. I can take this line over to the left, and we can see at 2.5 cents, people are buyers, right? Every time we drop to this level here at 2.5 cents, buyers do step in. So that's what the chart's telling us, not financial advice, but then maybe, of course, we could break down, right? Key levels are for breaking down. They do happen. So, see what happens with Bitcoin. Everything, right now, we need to keep our eyes on Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin does do next will most likely give us a clue as to what the altcoins will do next. So, but people are definitely buyers of TEL coin over here at 2.5 cents. We'll see what happens with BTC, guys. Don't panic. We're in the trading range. And DOT. Dre was asking for DOT. Yes, let's cover that. $20 polka dot. And no surprise, guys, no surprise at all. What happens when we hit a significant trend line? We bounce, right? So people, think it's going to go to zero when we get to support, but no, at support we usually bounce. So that's why you need to do your analysis and understand key levels so that you don't get all emotional. So yeah, with DOT, we'll see what happens from here. Again, largely dependent on what the overall market does. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the leader right now. So $20, I mean, long-term speaking, guys, I made a few Polkadot videos on the channel saying it's going to go to several $100s. I stand by that statement. Might not be this year, although I think it's highly plausible with these parachain auctions going live seen on Polkadot that we see like 3-figure Polkadot. But until then, we have to understand that the overall market conditions need to allow that to happen. So unless these overall market conditions do flip bullish, well then we have to understand that, we're going to be chopping around. But guys, $20, 5 years from now, $20 is going to be like buying Amazon in the 90s, in my opinion. And this brings me to another important point. I wanted to show you the Kusama parachain auctions. So right now, let me go full screen for this. Right now, we got big venture capitalist firms, Wall Street firms, getting into all these pre-sales and all these new projects launching that are backed by MIT, Yale, Harvard, all these research groups. And only the special interest groups are getting access to these coins early. If you don't get access to the pre-sale, well, then you need to buy it on the open market like everybody else, and you get dumped on. But with Polkadot and Kusama, it is the most decentralized, fair way of launching new projects. You launch it through a parachain auction. You loan your Polkadot or Kusama into the auction and you get the tokens back. You don't need to be a big venture capitalist firm. You don't need to have billions of dollars. You don't need to know somebody. No, all you need to do is be like everybody else. It's a public blockchain, a public auction. Everybody can contribute. It's the most fair way of doing things. And guys, when you launch fair from the start, when it's fair from the beginning, that's the way to do it. So that's why I see Polkadot and Kusama withstanding the test of time. Do I have more bias towards Polkadot and Kusama over things like Cardano and Solana and stuff like that? Yes, I do. I do, because I see the team behind Polkadot and Kusama. I know who Dr. Gavin Wood is. I know what he's capable of what he is capable of and what his team is capable of. So I'm super mega bullish long term on Polkadot and Kusama. That has not changed whatsoever. Okay, so, but yeah, for now, we're range bound. We need to see what Bitcoin does next. See what's going on in chat. Smash that like button. Let's get some hype in the chat. You should be sharing this with your friends, sharing with your family, sharing it with your significant other. Everybody needs to get on Crypto Empire. Tell them to subscribe as well. Been getting cheap ADA, Pirate Chain, Rune, and XMR Monero. Clearly you know what you're doing, Xenomorph. I like all those picks. Those are very good coins, not financial advice. I do see them doing well. We got Tai To saying he's smashing the like button. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't smashed it yet. Guys, if you have any more questions for me, let me know right now in the chat. We'll be wrapping the live up soon. Guys, it's Father's Day. Gonna go take my dad out to eat for dinner. Gonna go somewhere nice with the whole family. Got things to do, people to see, so can't spend all day with you, unfortunately. Can't take up too much of your time. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and ask them right now before we do continue on with our Sunday Father's Day. All right, see if anything's changed in the market. Let's look at Monero, actually, because guys, Monero is what Bitcoin aims to be. Private, completely secure, no way of tracking or tracing transactions. And yeah, Bitcoin has its competitors with Monero. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, we're shopping around in Monero. Everything looks the same to me, guys. Like, look at this range from February. We're in the same range as we were in February. Almost broke out. We hit 300 bucks, but we got rejected from these candle wicks over here. Right, we always look to the left and see what occurred at these levels. $300, key psychological round number, we got rejected. People are sellers at $300. This also formed a supply zone. We have a drop base, or a rally base drop supply zone. That's a reversal. So, yeah, we need, we're going to break down eventually one way or the other, right? This is sideways. This is either going to break to the upside or it's going to break to the downside. Right, we'll play the breakout when it does happen. Personally, I'm not going to be selling any. I'm only going to add to the position, not financial advice. But yeah, Monero, guys, absolute powerhouse. If you don't have any in your portfolio yet, consider maybe adding some. But I'm not a financial advisor though, so you need to make your own decision on that. But hey, guys, Monero is it's a beast. Privacy by default. All right, happy Father's Day. You gonna give your pops any coins today? I got him Bitcoin and stuff like that for his birthday. I got him it for Christmas. I might have to continue the trend. No, I did get him a nice gift though already, but yeah, maybe I'll give him some more Bitcoin. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap that up. Coin McDog. Much love, brother. Shout out to you. Thank you all for joining me on this Sunday edition live stream special. I hope you all have an amazing Sunday. We will see you all later on this week. If you are not in the Crypto Empire Telegram group yet, go ahead and join that free Telegram group right now. If you want to get your hands on the free Crypto Empire ebook, head on over to cryptoempire.io. You will also see the private Discord premium group in there if you are interested. And my name is Connor from Crypto Empire, and we will see you in the next